Hey guys, this is Jacob from Play for Christ Ministry. Walk and Talk presents a Hoop Story, Episode 2. So now when you saw Episode 1, it was more my beginning story. Wasn't really in hooping like basketball. If you don't know what the hooping means basketball. Wasn't really in my time, that wasn't my passion in the beginning of time. 03, we left Fort Irwin and we went to Fremont, California, where I was born. I'm from Fremont, California, but I'm an Army brat. If you saw the past episode, I'm looking at And1, the Professor, XLA, Hot Sauce, Skip to My Lou, all those cats. I mean, you got to look at the era. I might be off a little bit, but the Professor was one of my favorites. And I remember the And1 mixtape. And when I'm going into basically my elementary, Forest Park Elementary, I wanted to play ball. This is where my passion kind of got into it. I got into basketball a little bit more in 03-04 school year at Forest Park. So I tried out for the basketball team. I'm watching all these And1 stuff, and it's fun. I'm watching the NBA at that time with, Kobe, Allen Iverson. Shaq is on his time to go to Miami. But that's something else. But when it came down to it, I tried out for the Forest Park Elementary basketball team. I was in 6th grade at that time. And I didn't even think I was going to make the team. Be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to make the team. I thought I was really going to get cut. But no, I was number, 10, 11? And I think the only reason why they put me in there was because I was fast. Now, track and field was also a sport that I would run. I was always fast. When I was little, I used to run with my dad when he had to do some training for the Army. And I know I was fast. I was quick. I was always fast. So I think that's the reason why I kind of got on the team. And I had good sportsmanship, honestly. Like, I didn't really I knew how to shoot now at this time. My handles were all right until And1 came around. And then I started watching that. But I don't think they really picked me for my skills. I think it was just because I was quick. Because I'm going to be honest with you, when I was watching the And1 series and I'm watching NBA, I'm more like, okay, let me practice this, let me practice that. And then I was a bench player. I wasn't even a starter. The coach had favorites. And you're going to hear more of that in this series because I was more, by the time that we talk, I'm going to be a little bit more flashy with my moves when I'm in high school. But my elementary year, I just couldn't. I played a little bit, but no, they got me because I was fast. But I didn't think I was gonna make the team. And when I made the team, I was like, oh shoot, I made the team. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was cool. It was cool. Got to put on a jersey and got some shoes and got to play here and there. Probably good, maybe 5-10 minutes only. So it wasn't even anything. And you gotta remember, this was elementary level. But got to play, got to enjoy that time. And then 04 we left and we went to Fort Lewis in Washington State. And I remember the And1 series when I was watching the Professor, watching all these cats playing. I'm gonna be like this guy, I'm gonna be like this guy. So I went out before we were going to the Fort Lewis in Washington State. I was just basically dribbling the basketball. And I was just like, yeah, this is what I love. And even though I didn't get to play a lot in elementary, in 6th grade, I still loved the sport. And I loved how it went and moved. And then I'm learning and I'm trying to really learn on the sport. And I'm like, man, this is cool. I like this sport. And I think that's when I kind of really got the love of the game. And then I'm out there at Forest Park in the elementary playground where I'm balling people up because I'm watching the And1, I'm watching, these NBA players, I'm watching the 3-point. I'm learning the game. I'm learning the game, and I love it. And I love it. And we're out there just hooping, just playing ball. And that's what we were doing, just playing basketball. I beat somebody, his name was Ross. I beat him 21-0. And we were probably playing 1s and 2s, but I was just shooting all 3s because this dude was not really that good, but we stay humble. We stay humble. And I think when my skills after basketball season came down with that basketball season, I think I learned a lot because, like I said, I wasn't playing that much. I wasn't, I was more like, okay, this is ridiculous. And that's how I kind of figured with, you know, elementary, if not going into middle school and going into high school, where I'm like, man, this is kind of like, wait a minute, you can't do this, you can't do a flashy pass, you got to do this, you got to. And I think I've learned that where the coach didn't like that. The coach don't like that stuff where you're trying to go under the legs or trying to embarrass your opponent. And I'm like, like they don't like that. But I was quick, like I was fast, like I had speed. Speed was on my side for sure. I'm also gonna do this part too here because I'm on it right now. This is on my mind. So I go and we leave Forest Park, and now I'm going to middle school at Fort Lewis. And my middle school was Camacha Middle School. 7th grader. I'm doing drills and this is tryouts, this is tryouts. And I'm doing this skills and I'm doing all this stuff. And I remember I did this drill. It was like the 3-man. It's not the 3-man weave. It was another drill that you had to have one person on one side, another person on the other side, and another person on the other side. And it was a 4-way. It's like 4. So you're hitting 4 people with the basketball. Well, something happened and I made a mistake and I got mad. So I chucked the basketball and I basically threw it up on the roof. That's what screwed me on JV. I lost JV and they used to have this thing called C-Team. But hey, I got to start the whole time. I got to start and I was the best player on that team. Even the dentist that I was with, he even told me he wished I was his son. But when it all comes down to it, I was on a C-Team. I was on the C-Team. And like I said, I got to play though. I got to play my whole 7th grade year, C-Team. I was a starter, got to do whatever. I mean, that coach actually let me do whatever I really wanted, to be truthful. That was a cool coach. If I looked at my yearbook, I would remember his name, but I don't. I think it was like Coach something. But when it came down to it, he was a good dude. He let me do whatever I wanted. I was a point guard, and he let me do whatever I needed. I think I kind of wish that I got to teach the younger ones, because the dudes that I had on my team, remember, this is C-Team, so half these cats are garbage. Not to be rude to them, but half of these guys were not really that great. But because we had a tall fellow, and that coach, like I said, he was a good coach, but just wasn't really a coach where he should have coached this guy. But he's telling this dude to stay in the paint and just put his arms up. Like, dude, first of all, you're going to get a 3-second violation or something's going to happen. And then after that, when he's saying put your arms up, you forgot to tell him to block. Like, all he did was put his arms up. Like I said, this dude was tall. He was tall, but like I said, wasn't the best player. But like I said, I got to do whatever I needed. But I kind of wish that I had a leadership in that team. And I think that's what it should have been. But I remember that coach was talking to my dad, and he was like, yeah, you basically... I remember I was like... I don't know if you ever see Kobe, but Kobe usually does it. I mean, some NBA players are doing it too, though, where they dribble the basketball and they're like carrying, doing like this. Like, sometimes, you're carrying a little bit. And of course, the rest ain't going to call that because, you're trying to control the ball. But there was a time where he was like, yeah, you're playing like, you carry a little bit. But when it comes down to it, we see other NBA players, and now you see NBA players doing all the nonsense stuff. But it was fun, and I think it was a good learning experience. But I got to play my whole season and got to meet meet people, and that's when I'm like, yep, this is my sport. I was like, this is the passion that I love. This is what I'm doing. And you gotta remember, this is the time where now Tracy McGrady, I'm learning more about Tracy McGrady. I'm learning more about Vince Carter. Because all I knew about Kobe, Shaq, and Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade. I knew Dwayne Wade in 03 now. Dwayne Wade was one of my favorites. I think Dwayne Wade was one of my favorites. And I think that's where we're at. All right, guys, I'm gonna do another part, and it's gonna be to be continued. God bless you guys. Take care.